So first of all, coach, last Friday it was a tough loss. Have you found reasons watching back to that game?
I mean, we played completely without energy and effort, and we have to start from that. Obviously, we made mistakes. They scored a lot of threes. We missed a lot of open threes, but we have to build everything over effort, focus, commitment, and desire. So we just lost on the road. We play on the road again against the best team of our group. We have to restart from the will and the desire to compete physically and mentally before then working and thinking about tactics.
What's the main thing getting into players' head and making them play with desire and the physicality you
Yeah,
want?
I mean, we have to to remember that we are still in our journey. You know, we started really bad, and we won. You know, 8 of the last, by the way, 10 games. But what gave us the chance to win 8 games is the sense of urgency we had, the desire we had to show up. We weren't really bad at the beginning, and even after the last game, despite the lack of effort. And we weren't superheroes when we won the 8 games. We have to be balanced, be humble, work hard, and don't forget which are our goals and dreams.
But maybe it's hard to stay humble when you're on a 8 game winning streak.
It's hard, but it's what we need to do because we played many games, we won games, but we are still probably at the 33% of the games of the entire season. There are a lot of games to play. We have to stay consistent. Probably that's mentally, especially the most difficult part, but it's a job that we have to do, coaches and players, if we want to get better, show up, and step forward.
How do you think did the FIBA window had an influence on the team performance?
Probably, we decided to give some days off because they deserve it, mostly mentally than physically after such many games. Probably the way to come back from the FIBA window wasn't the best one, and the FIBA window probably broke a bit our flow. But that's just not to be an excuses. We know what we missed, and we wanna start immediately to come back and bounce back to compete, knowing that will be really a tough game.
Yeah, Bahcesehir is top of the group, 8 wins from 9 games. And what's the most important going into that game on the road?
We have to go there and try to compete physically. They are a team that are really able to try to destroy the flow of the opponent, starting from the defensive side, and they have qualities in the offensive players. Not a big rotation. They play with 8, 9 players, but they are really talented players. So we need to stay really focused, stay together 40 minutes, don't give them the chance to have run and break during the game. So the most important thing for at the beginning is the approach that we have physically and mentally.
You had a game on Friday, then you didn't play LKL, and now you're playing again Euro Cup. Did that change somehow your, the practices or something or preparation?
Yeah, we change it just because we had one more day to prepare this game. We had one day f- off. Obviously, it was a traveling day, but we had one more day to be ready to prepare the next game. Obviously, doing that, then we don't have many games to prepare the next LKL. So sometimes the schedule is good from one side and bad on the other, but it is what it is. We wanna once again, don't find excuses. Try to handle and deal even with the schedule and try to be ready.
Arnoldo Skolboka had his first minutes last Friday. Talking about not, I think, long perspective because he's coming from a long injury. What kind of influence can he has on his team?
No, I mean, he's a great player. He's a high-level BB IQ player, great shooter. He knows how to play basketball, offense and defense. So he will help us a lot. Obviously, we are trying to help him to found his best shape as soon as possible. But will be precious in the roster from now to the end of the game, of
Yeah,
the season.
and the season is running. Teams somehow get used to each other, and then you have to get some minutes for Arnoldo. How hard is for you to find those minutes?
I mean, if you have good players, it's okay, hard to manage because everybody would like to play, but I prefer to have this kind of problem that not having good players. So we will find a way to adjust. We can move some other players in different positions. For example, like Trishon Thurman playing the three spot. We will find minutes for him, and obviously game by game, the most effective player, even in order of the scouting that can play, will play the game.
Also, coach, last game was the halfway of the group stage in Euro Cup. How can you evaluate this part of the season?
I mean, we are pretty upset, not only just because we lost the game, but how we lost the game. And obviously, arriving at the end of the first round with 6 victories should be great for looking for the end of the season. But losing that game, we have to fight every game because you see the schedule now, especially in December. We have Bahcesehir on the road, then we have Apoel Tel Aviv, then we have Ulm, all the teams that they already beat us. We have to find a way to invert, and we don't like that teams are able to beat us twice in a season, especially Euro Cup, where there are just 2 groups, respecting the 4 that we have in Al Khayat. So we will try to do the best to try to invert the tendency.
Prenumeruok Wolves kanalą ir visus video žiūrėsi pirmas.